the topic is self-love. So talking about self-love, now for example, if I say I would like to do something and it's not common maybe in my culture or in my own part of the world, and people will be like, no, don't do it, and they will try to talk you out. For example, I was discussing with you the other day about making videos as a hijabi woman and all that. So, but the thing is, if another person now tries to do the same thing and they become successful, they'll be like, yes, what do you think? She has put herself out there. She's knowledgeable, all those things. And then they will turn around and shame you that, see, you're a failure because you did not go ahead to do what you love or what you like to do.
I think that also comes with the notion that, okay, you yourself, you find yourself saying you cannot do it and you find validation in somebody else. But if you believe, like, I think in one of our episodes, we were talking about, one of our guests was talking about affirmations, you understand, talking to yourself, knowing that you can do it. The mind is a very strong thing. If you tell yourself you can do it every day and you remind yourself you're bold, you're beautiful, you're incredible, you can do it, you're brilliant, and then you're Islamic, it will not in any way hinder or be contrary to your Islamic morals, go for it. Yeah. Since you know that there is no place in the Quran or the Hadith that tells you, I'm not allowed to do that. Because as long as we know the history of Islam has not allowed women to be subjugated in any way, it has been a religion that has been fed to us, liberation for women. If you look into Islamic history and everything about Islam, yes, we stand for. So as long as we need to shy away from that sociocultural prejudice, the morals that contradicts the Islamic values. We know sometimes it becomes a problem for you to go further in life to excel. You know, instead you should. Our time here is short, so we must live our life so well, but at the same time live that, okay, we can leave this world, we can exit this world at any period in time.
But you know what? I have this unpopular opinion that, don't you think being tidy, looking nice, smelling good is also part of self-love?
That's very important.
I can tell you that I've met people that would hide behind religion and say, you know, the religion said women shouldn't do this, women shouldn't use perfume, all those things, and it will be terrible. And that should be part of what are the things that is going to boost your confidence and your self-love. So,
like the way you dress when you go out, the way you walk, the way you hold yourself as a person,
that's how you get
makes
dressed.
a very huge difference. There was a time when I was still really young, I dressed like a huge, you know, with the whole but you get everything with the cup, you know, and I get now. I went to the bank and see someone that was really older than me calling me sir because I looked, you know, the respect that I was getting was not something that I would get if I should wear my, you know, the usual, you know,
jeans and top.
So it's not like you don't lie to yourself and be like, you know, I love myself now, wear whatever I want to.
Or you reduce yourself into wearing rags because you don't want people to think, you're overdressed for the situation and all that. You know, sometimes what nowadays you can't blame certain people. We're in a society where even if you're invited to a wedding, some people will dress to pass the Amaria. But we're not saying, but come on, just because there is Islam has put a certain guideline for us to come out, you understand, but be modest and all that, and thoughts and exactly.
Much more.
You
there's
can't
even
go out
another way to
smelling.
look at it. For example, if cleanliness is part of godliness,
Exactly,
then
that's
you're
very
setting
strong.
an example. Okay, I'm a Muslim, I need to look this way, I need to be clean or something. Some people will go to the masjid looking dirty. You're going in front of Allah to worship Him. So why won't you be your best
There was a time
version?
in my madrasa, my malam was telling me that if the way we get dressed when we want to go to a wedding or something, if we could only do that when we are about to pray to God, the malaikas, they all around, the saints, everything, that is very good. Why can't we do that? Get all dressed up. But sometimes, you know, we'll just carry the hijab any time and wear and just pray and all that. Even sometimes during Ramadan, you know, sometimes there's the miswak now. Sometimes, you know, if you're fasting, there's a way your mouth will smell. You just think, ibadah, yes, it's your deen.
And it has its virtues as well.
But at least there are options, you understand? But like you said, cleanness is next to godliness. Just because Islam says we should not entice the... So there's deodorants you could use. You cannot go out to the public and smell. that one too, it's another thing to talk about. You see somebody in the crowd, you cannot even stand the person. Or when you're in the mosque, you're trying to pray, you're in you understand, ba?
And you're disturbing people.
It's uncomfortable.
And
So
the
my
person
dear,
will
you're
not come
lying
and
to
see you,
yourself if you are smelling and you say it's Islam. You should be smelling. Islam said you should be smelling again.
Oh, this is getting interesting. There was it's still the show, DEEN and DUNYA. I'd like to ask my co-host to give us some advice, on how to love yourself. Habiba?
Well, loving yourself is a very, very important thing. The mind is a very powerful thing, like we said. I still have what Coach Gigi was talking about in her mind, saying daily affirmation. So now I have decided that me too, not just for you, I'll be reminding myself, I am bold, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am a Muslim woman. And then Allah has endowed me with such things so that I would share my intelligence. I would do whatever it takes to make positive impact, add value to myself and my family and people around me. So love yourself enough to be able to spread it out into the world. You understand that? So that people would not just respect you and also hold you high. And then the acts of charity, we are not saying you should discomfort yourself, you understand, but if you have the means, if you have 5 new clothing and you think you have to you can give 2 or 3. No, don't be, you understand, but you have to be comfortable to yourself, understand, but not at the expense of. Don't go and give out something at the expense of your own happiness or anything, of your own well-being. If you're sick, you are not saying that charity is a must. When you have the means, you can do it. So please, let's love ourselves enough, and also in loving yourself, don't be too selfish and too self-centered, and be self-absorbed.
Yeah,
it's
so
very
Rashid,
important.
We need advice.
There is a friend of mine, Faiz. I learned a lot from him. You see, when people are like, because he was actually a bit short, so people are like, oh my God, you're short too, and you'll be like, I still fine.
I like that.
It's something he always says it, and you'll be like, we'll find back. Like that kind of thing that you even begin to start feeling him. He made a lot of people to like him because of how he was able to. He was able to. When you tell him something he's doing wrong, he will pick it. He'll pick the positives out of it and work on himself. So it's like you need to know yourself in a manner that when things happen, you know where to go. You should take the positive parts from your past experiences and use it to improve on yourself. You can never stop being a better person. You can never stop improving on yourself. So from time to time, really try to make yourself, just look in the mirror once in a while, be like, I'm fine, like I'm pretty, I'm handsome, I'm beautiful and all that. Learn to be able to put yourself out there when you want to, in a manner that does not become detrimental to you. It's be able to express yourself and tell people, and when someone does something, if you don't like it, try to be able to explain to the person that this thing doesn't really, it's not. And some people might be bullies, and once you see that you've tried once, you've tried twice, please just
cut off.
These are really good advices. Thank you very much. So, they say if you love somebody, you're going to treat them with so much care, love, support, you pamper them. So why not do that same thing to yourself? Love yourself enough. And I will tell you that you're a creation of Allah. You have no limit to anything you can do. Exactly. You're powerful, you're intelligent. So whatever you want to do, so long as you do not disobey Allah, just go for it and you will be fine. Dear viewers, it's still the show DEEN and DUNYA, and our topic has been self-love. So watch out for more episodes. Inshallah, we'll try to bring issues and then find solutions to them. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.